I don't believe in farewells. Players must make the team on merit. Russell's dash for the match last night. Those were the words of one of my friends who were at the match last night. I called him this morning sometime around 6:30 a.m. Jamaica time, and I asked him, "What are your thoughts on the match last night?" That's exactly what he said. He said, "The crowd was massive. The crowd did everything to get the West Indies team over the line, but they lack a fifth bowler." He said Russell bowled 2 overs for 40 runs. I corrected him that it was 37. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the #1 cricket channel in the Caribbean. I thank you for being here, and I appreciate your company. And I look forward to your interaction as we do today's player ratings on the match last night. The player rating is in the live description. It's also in the live chat. Please click on the form and do your player ratings. Later in the show, I will be doing mine live. Now, according to my friend, where West Indies lost the match last night was when Russell came to the wicket. He believed, and we said it on the live show also, that Russell slowed down the run rate, and afterward, he also bowled 2 bad overs. West Indies, in their last 5 overs last night, scored only 30 runs while losing 6 wickets. At the start of over number 16, West Indies were 159 for 2. After the third delivery of that over, Shai Hope got out, and from there, the West Indies middle to lower order just fell away with no batsman after that passing double figures. Rovman Powell made 1 from 3 deliveries. Andre Russell made 8 from 9 deliveries. Shafane Rutherford got a 1-ball ducks. Jason Older made ducks from 2 deliveries. Gudakesh Moti was not out north, and Alzari Joseph not out 3. West Indies losing 6 wickets for 30 runs in the last 5 overs. And probably that's where we lost the match. Maybe it's more than probably. Many would say we did not maximize those last 5 overs enough, and there is where we lost the match. My friend pointed out to me, and we saw it in looking back at it, that when Hope and Chase were batting, Hope was giving Chase the strike because Chase was going so well. And when Chase got out, Shai Hope upped the tempo. And he said, when Russell came to the crease, Ekmeyer was going great gun. And instead of Russell wanting to be the star on the night, he should have really just eased the ball around and give the strike to Ekmeyer. Many would say that is after the fact, and that is correct. I recall when Russell was on 8 runs from 5 deliveries. In the 18th over, I said then that if he hit these next 2 balls for 6, he would have gone 20 from 7 deliveries. And then that would have been the right thing. However, as it stands, the reality was he ended up making 8 runs from 9 deliveries. And you cannot hide away from that. That was a failed performance by Andre Russell. It all comes down to the performance. You can only assess what the person do. You cannot predict his performance before it actually happened. Well, you can predict this performance, but if it doesn't materialize, then you will have to assess what he does. And last night, 8 runs from 9 deliveries was not good enough, was simple, mediocre at best. Hopefully, if he plays tomorrow, and we saw in the chat last night where the difference between those persons who think that he should not play and those who think that he should play tomorrow is a 16 percentage points gap. So more persons think that he should play tomorrow. My friend doesn't think so. My friend that think that we really lacked a fifth bowling option. So he looks at the fact that whenever there's a cricket match, the team that win or the team that lose, there's always a turning point in that match. And he saw the arrival of Russell at the crease as the turning point. Believe that Shafin Rutherford should have came ahead of Andre Russell last night. And that when Andre Russell bowled, after a good start, he said, this is what he said, after a good start by the opening bowlers, Russell again came on and that overwent for, he said 20 odd runs, but I corrected him that it was 19. Now, what would you do for tomorrow? Would you make a change to the playing 11? Would you seek to bring in that fifth bowler? We saw in Romario Shepherd last set of T20 internationals, he was going for more than 12 runs per over. He never contributed anything with the bat. Or do you go for Jediah Blades? Is Blade up to it as that fifth bowler? Or do you give Russell his farewell match in front of his home crowd? Speaking about the crowd, it was a massive crowd at Sabina Park last night. They did everything possible to let the West Indies win that match. It was full support behind the West Indies. There's another thing that was discussed, and we said it on the live show. No one is going in on Joel Anjo. Absolutely no one is going in on Joel Anjo. The question that is being asked, why was he on the field instead of a more mature person like Romario Shepherd or Matthew Ford? Why was it that it was the youngest player in the West Indies camp in front of the largest crowd that he would have ever played before that was sent out on the field in a crunch situation? It brought back memory of Kenrick Dennis, my good friend, who he and I play cricket together. That match between Jamaica and Barbados, where he dropped the catch when in the dying moment of the match and allowed Barbados to win that match. So it brought back memory of that. So I'm going to do the player rating now. West Indies is one down in the series. We have to bounce back tomorrow night. I will take your comments before I go to the player ratings, giving persons time to do the player ratings. We have to bounce back. We have to win. We cannot afford to go down 2-0. I hope that there will be another bumper crowd at Sabina Park last night. Two of my sons were there. So I definitely hope that it will be another bumper crowd at the match on Tuesday night in Kingston, Jamaica. And I hope to be there also. I enjoyed doing the watch-alongs, but the atmosphere in the ground last night, from all accounts, it was electrifying, and I really don't want to miss it again another night. So it is interesting to hear what you have to say. So, Erwin Thomas, good morning to you. Paul Goodman, the player ratings have to do on the form. We do not acknowledge those. Thank you for being here. But the player ratings has to be done on the form. I think it's harsh to say it's a disappointment. Those last 2 overs of batting cost the West Indies the game, plus many would say the Aussies team are favorites for the T20 World Cup. All right. I think it's harsh to say it's a disappointment. You are disappointed whenever you lose. You are disappointed. It can't be harsh to say it's a disappointment. We are not playing 15 overs of cricket. We are not batting 15 overs of cricket. I'm not afraid to say it. 30 runs off the last 5 overs, losing 6 wickets. I'm extremely disappointed in that performance. Yes, we batted for 15 overs well, but it's not a 15 over innings, it's a 20 over innings. And we all know that in sport, the margin between winning and losing on many occasions are usually very, very fine. So when you gave up practically 5 overs of your innings, only scoring 30 runs, that's a runner ball, and losing 6 wickets, that means you played well for 15 overs and then you just collapse in those last five overs. So Envoy, I don't agree with you that it is harsh to say that it was a disappointment. It was extremely disappointing. I think so. I do not agree with you. And the second point where I disagree with you, yes, Australia are rotating players for the World Cup. They might be your favorite for the World Cup. I don't think they are everybody's favorite. I don't think they are the overwhelming favorite for the World Cup. Furthermore, that's not Australia number one team for T20. Travis Head was not there, Andre Carey was not there, and the big three seamers were not there either. So that was really not Australia full strength team last night. So please do the player rating. Screen black. It says screen is black. The champion said, man, that crowd was beautiful. Yes, that crowd was beautiful. Yes, it was beautiful. Sheldon Smith said that T20 is a rough mistress. I do not understand, Sheldon. So could you explain for us? I know you have always come with some wonderful thoughts. I would love to get some of your feedback on whether you think that Andre Russell should play or not. I would have done the poll last night and we're 50-something% of you said that he should play compared to 40-odd%. And as I said, the difference was 16. I don't know if I have a live poll going on this morning. Yes, do I have a live poll going on? Yes, and the live poll is saying that 40% of you believe that there should be no change for the match. 40%. That means 60% of you believe that there should be a change. So if you look at it that way, 60% of you believe that there should be one or more changes for the match. So I would love to get your feedback on the poll and why you voted for a change and why 40% of you voted for no change. Very, very interesting. I love this poll. Continue to vote on it and give me your feedback. We are coming to the player ratings. Remind you that the player ratings is in the video description. It's also in the live chat and it's also pinned to the live chat. So I hope that you are doing your player ratings because I will be doing mine very soon and I trust that you are doing it. I've been told that a number of persons usually love for me to do my player ratings first. Okay. Oh, Roxanne, how are you doing, Roxanne Gray? Happy to have you here. Always happy to have Roxanne Gray. And thank you always for your support, Roxanne Gray. I am very disappointed with West Indies. All they want to do is hit 6 all the time, said Roxanne Gray. And that's a very good point. I recall last night someone saying that we are trying to maximize the number of runs that we scored. And I pointed out that is always the objective. It's always the objective. You want to maximize. But it's the methodology. In other way, it's the way that you reach your objective. Is the process that you engage to meet your objective. And I think so too, Roxanne. I think that our lower to middle order, they were really looking for too many sixes. And the man that was hitting the sixes, he was off strike for far too long. Between the At the start of the 18th over, I'm trying to remember right if I'm right here. At the start of the 18th over, Ed Meyer hit the first 2 balls for 4, then he got a single. He never faced any other delivery in that 18th over. In the 19th over, he got a single off the first ball, and he never faced any of those 5 other deliveries. He was the batsman at the crease who was on, I think at the time he was on 35 from something like 15 deliveries. I just think that we should have found a way to give him more of the strike at that time. No, he eventually got out, and one can understand because he probably got cold after not being on the strike. And he could have got out even if they were giving the strike. But I am playing the percentage game here. So I don't want the triviality. We are playing the percentage game because cricket is all about percentage. It's like playing a football match. And those of you who watch Manchester United a lot, we do this. The ball will come to Bruno Fernandes especially. There are others like Dalat, but especially Fernandes. The ball will come to him at the edge of the box. And instead of playing the next pass to try and get the striker in and goal, he takes a shot. The likelihood of that shot scoring is very low, probably 1 to 2%. I'm trying to recall if of all the shots that Bruno Fernandes took for Manchester United outside the box in last year's Premier League, if he scored 3 of them. I can't recall he scored 3 of them, maybe 1 or 2. So it's the high percentage game. So at that time, the high percentage game for me would to give Ed Meyer more of the strike. That would have been in my opinion, that would have been the high percentage game. I think the West Indies bowling is, I hope you are saying 2. You have 2 there, but I hope I interpret you right by saying that you are saying 2. So I'm going to say, Kevin Joseph is saying, I think the West Indies bowling is too predictable. The Aussies bowlers bowl slow balls, cutters, yorkers. Kevin Joseph, I share those thoughts. Once it is 2 that you are saying, I don't think that we brought enough variety, enough variation to our bowlings last night. And so that is something that we need to look into going forward. Sheldon Smith is saying, why Rutherford did not bowl? Well, I can't tell you why he did not bowl, but I would have said it last night, Sheldon, that for me, Rutherford is a 1 over bowler. I think he can give you 1 good over. If you are going to give him a second over, you're taking a risk. And so right now, I think he's a 1 over bowler. I think that he can bowl 1 over in every match if the bowling is not going well. I don't see him as a 2 over bowler right now. Michael Douglas is making the point that hats off to the pitch curator. That's the best T20 pitch I've seen this year. Excellent for batting and enough in it for the bowlers. Both spin and fast bowler, once they bowl good and be smart. Good comment that, Michael Douglas. You're spot on. Yeah. West Indies plans are too static, said Sheldon Smith, and he's probably going back to what Kevin Joseph had said earlier. So Ian Joseph is agreeing here. And I still want some comments on what you think about the playing level for tomorrow. Definitely 30 run short, West Indies batting, said goal works. I agree. I've asked that. I have asked for 220. We lost the game at over 15 to 20. Patrick Ascott, yes. I think it's 16 to 20 though. I think up to 15th over, we end at 15th over at 159 for 2. So, well, maybe I'm just nitpicking, but It's the last 5 overs, Patrick Ascott. Yes, the last 5 overs. Were you at the match, Patrick Ascott? What was the feedback coming from the crowd? Were you? Russell should have retired last year. He passed his prime, said Tyrell. I can't pronounce that name, but the fact that he's there, that may be so, and we cannot, it's your opinion which you're entitled. So that may be so, but looking forward to tomorrow, what do you think? It doesn't make sense we go back to say that he should retire from last year. I am sure that although you believe that he should retire from last year, I would like to think that if you're a genuine West Indies supporters, if those 2 deliveries that I said Russell should have hit for 6, should he have hit them for 6 and his momentum build? And last night he scored a quick fire 40 and he bowled much better, and West Indies won the match. I think a true West Indies supporters would have been very happy that West Indies have won the match. So yes, Tyrell, you're entitled to your opinion, and I have no issue with you putting forward your opinion. And you may also well be right that Russell should have retired from last year, because I would not have any objection to that. But the fact that he played last night, we really wanted everyone who played to do well. Hussein. So Sheldon believed that Hussein was a batsman to come in. He has a good head on his shoulder. I'm not saying that Hussein does not has a good head on his shoulder, but I can't see Hussein batting ahead of Rutherford in particularly. I can't see him batting ahead of Gudakesh Moti, especially when you were 159 for 2 after 15 overs. I disagree that he should come in at that time. Really what you want the persons who have done it consistently. I know that Hussein have done it in the past where he has scored at an exhilarating rate, and I'm not saying that he doesn't have a good head on his shoulder, but I don't think many persons will agree with you, Sheldon, that he should be the one that should come in at that time. No way you can gift a win to your opposition on the name of felicitation. Felicitation. Hope did blunder by sending Russell before Rutherford. Well, what you can rate the captain because you click on the form, the player ratings form, and you'll be able to rate the captain. Based on Rutherford credit in the bank, because if you look at Rutherford performances in his last 40-20, he has not really done anything. Would I have sent Rutherford ahead of Russell last night? Yes, I would have. Would I criticize the coach for sending Russell ahead of Rutherford? No. But if it was my decision, I would have sent Rutherford ahead of him. But I just think it was a 50-50 decision. Andre should not play. He got his retirement match yesterday. He cannot play, and Merritt said Will Simmons. Well, Will Simmons, those were the words of my friend last night. And I must tell you that I asked my friend, was this the overriding sentiment of the crowd? And he was quick to point out that he did not canvass the crowd, but it was his own opinion. So let me put that out there. It was not like he had canvassed the crowd and have got their view. The last 5 batters were all trying to hit sixes when they could have just played regular shots to keep the score moving. I agree with you, Dane. I really think the high percentage approach then was to give Edmire the strike. And I said high percentage. Field setting was really out of sort too, said Patrick Ascott. My wife, who does not understand cricket, could point out the difference with the Australian field setting versus ours. Okay, thank you very much, Patrick Ascott, for that. And I always love to, when the females turn up at the match, they said that the two most watched sport by females are cricket and motor racing. That's what world statistics is saying. You know, sports that are male sports, let's say male sport, by and large sports which are male sports, what we'll call original male sports, because we know of female in motor racing, and we have the quality of the female game continue to improve. So I don't want the gender activists to come up. Please, I apologize to the gender activists. I'm talking about generally sports that for a long time were dominated by males. So I apologize to the gender activists. I can't take an email this morning. Can't take any. Please, I apologize. But it's good to see that your wife have an analyst. So I take it for granted that you were at the match, because we never could have get an analysis of the field setting last night from the TV. Sunil believed that Joseph just bowling short, and Shar. Yes, okay. Hope took too long before he brought Chase. That was a big discussion last night. Many persons believe that Chase. It's going to be very interesting to see what you gave the captain and the player rating. We are coming to that, but Wilson Mans think that, which many persons believe too, that Chase should have bowled much earlier. Yes. So let's hear what Ashwan Cambry is saying, and we're coming to your player ratings very shortly, and then probably come back to some comments. Good morning to you too, Ashwan. It's a pleasure. I really like your consistency in your journey so far. Great job, legend. Thank you very much, Mr. Camber. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for that. Sheldon said, let Jairus play. The people are coming to the ground to see him. So Sheldon's opinion is let Jairus play, and everyone is entitled to their opinion, as I always said. So no issue with you thinking that he should play. The batting order was too long. A containing bowler was missing. That was what my friend was saying, that we need a fifth bowler. The batting order is long, and I personally are leaning towards a fifth bowler. And I'm wondering that if that's where we missed it, should Chase have been that fifth bowler last night? Many persons in the watch along were saying that this is a spinner wicket. The spinners are doing well. Bring on Chase. Did Hope just not only bring on Chase late, but should have Chase been that fifth bowler who should have bowled earlier and have bowled his full quota? And a lot will depend on Chase in the second match. I am looking at Romario Shepherd performances in the UK tour with the ball. And I'm also looking, do I trust Jediah Blades? Has he improved enough since the last time we saw him? There have been some improvement, but do I trust Jediah Blades to give me 4 good over? And maybe Chase is the person we should be looking to give us those 4 good overs. 122 persons here when I'm writing this comment, but only 19 likes. So please slash a like on the video. So thank you for bringing that to my attention, Canberra. So let me go to the player rating then. You know, please slash a like on the video. I will go to the player rating, and I will do my player rating. I will do my player rating here now live. So let's get this player rating up. So the first one I'm looking at is Brandon King. 18 runs from 12 deliveries. I am trying hard to remember that I've ever seen a batsman chip and get out stumped with the ball going over middle stump. I'm really trying hard to remember. I can't recall ever seen a batsman out stump with the ball going over middle stump. For me, Brandon King was a 1. Shea Hope, he batted well. As was pointed out to me, he rotated the strike and was giving Chase the strike. 60 from 32 deliveries, 9-4, 2 sixes. That's Rustan. Shea Hope, 55 from 39 deliveries. Sorry. 4 fours, 3 sixes. A strike rate of 141. You'd want it to be above 150, but you can't bash him for that. So his innings of 55 from 39 deliveries, strike rate of 141. So I think I should I'm just trying to get this form on the screen. Let me trying to get this form on the screen. So yes, there's a form on the screen. Sorry about that. Sorry about that little glitch. So there's a form on the screen. So I have given Brandon King 1. For me, Shea Hope 6. He scored the runs, but should he have scored it a little faster? So I'm giving him. He's definitely 6. I'll give Shea Hope 6. Rustan Chase, I recall Rustan Chase at one time. I think I had said it, and just as I said it, I saw a comment from Michael Douglas saying that Chase should either retire out or up the tempo because he was going at just a runner ball. And it's like he heard when we said it. And I think those last 50 runs from Chase came off probably about 20 deliveries. Those last 50 runs, he really hopped it for those last 50 runs. Strike rate of 187, 9 fours, 2 sixes. I have to give Chase. I'm wavering between 7 and 8. I'm going to give him an 8, especially that he bowled one very good over. He came on and bowled one very good over. So I'll give him an 8. Definitely give him an 8. Rahman Powell, can't give him more than a 1. It was his second score under 30 in his last 10 innings in T20 cricket. So he has been West Indies' most consistent performer as a batsman in T20 cricket over the last 3 or 4 T20 series. But last night, he didn't come to the party. 1 for me. Shimron Etmire at a strike rate of 200, scoring 38 from 19 deliveries. That pull shot or hook shot that he played into the George Headley stand for 6. My friend said that it was the shot of the match. So 38 from 19 deliveries. Good looking knock, a strike rate of 200, batting at number 5. Should he have gone on? They robbed him the strike at the end. Let's give him a 7. I'm giving him a 7. Andre Russell, I would have said a lot about Andre Russell's performance. Don't need to say any more about that one. Shafeen Rutherford got a 1 ball duck, so there's no way you can give him more than 1. He never bowled. Jason Holder now. Jason Holder got a 2-ball ducks, but when he bowled 4 overs, 2 for 32. You take that every day, especially when the team is chasing 9.5 runs and over to win. So while he got a 2-ball ducks, when it comes to the bowling, he got 4 overs, 2 for 32. He continues its rich vein of bowling. I see Jason Holder as someone who is more in this team for his bowling rather than his batting. He can hit away a few balls. Unlike some persons, I already say what my definition of an all-rounder is. He does not fit my definition as an all-rounder. I am rating him on his bowling, so I'm going to give him a 7. So I'll give Jason Holder a 7. Gudakesh Motie, I think that he bowled well. Again, 2 for 29 from his 4 overs. He bowled well, just a little. I would like to give him a 7.5, but I can't give him a 7.5. So, let's give him a 7. I can't give him a 7.5. So, really and truly, I wanted to give him a 7.5. Is that a low 7.5 or a high 7.5? It's 7. I'm giving him 7. Alzari Joseph made 3 runs, but again, he's more there for his bowling. He did went for 39 runs from his 3.5 overs. He got 2 wickets. He roughed up Green to a point. And I think it was an average bowling performance. 2 for 39, you can't give him less than average. You would say that you want that runs to be fewer, but then again, the fact that he got 2 wickets, and if it was like 2 for 32, then I'll give him a 7, just like what I did for Motie and Jason Holder. But 2 for 39, I have to give him, what you call it now. I have to give him a 6. Now, Akil Hussain, this one is a little tricky for Akil Hussain because his first 3 overs went for 15 runs. I think he got a wicket. But then his last over went for 20 runs. Now, I've watched a lot of cricket, and you have watched a lot of cricket. They take bowlers to the cleaners every day. And someone pointed out, Akil Hussain came on and bowled that over after Russell was taken for 18 in the previous over, so the Australian batsman had the momentum. And sometimes you heard when last night on the watch along when Owens came out to bat, and I was saying to you, he's dangerous. He's on debut. You may not know him. Those of you who don't follow the cricket worldwide like me probably don't know him, but he's dangerous. And one has to wonder if West Indies didn't really analyze Owen, because he has played so much match in the Big Bash and Sheffield Shield that there's a lot of information out there on him. I will give Akil Hussain a 6. That last over prevented him from getting probably even 8. If that last, is not in it. The reality was that the last over went for 20 and it spoiled his bowling figures. So I'm giving him a 6. Sheo did well as a captain when he was batting, especially he was just easing the ball into the gap, giving Ruston Chase the strike. When Ruston Chase got out, he upped the tempo. And so that was good from a captain point of view, how he was just manipulating the innings there. When it comes to the bowling, saw where Patrice Ascott said that his wife didn't think that the field placing was good. I could not judge that from the TV. However, there was a big mistake that we could saw from the TV when Alzari Joseph was bowling and there was no backward square leg. And it was just shocking. And do that go to the fielder? Or should the captain should have seen that the fielder was out of position? Now, I always think the fielders should take some responsibility. But again, the overall responsibility rests with the captain to ensure that the fielders are in position, not absolving the player of his responsibility to understand the game. And the big issue was why Chase did not bowl more than 1 over, although his 1 over went for 11. You recall last night that I told you that a lot of times, on numerous occasions, you will see Chase bowling, and his first over will went for 11, 12, 15. But he ended bowling his 4 overs for 24, 28 runs or thereabout. So Chase is not a 1 over bowler. Chase need to get in that 1 over before you start bowling well. And these are the things that we need to analyze. You know, I just hope that persons are picking up that. Look back at Chase performances. That first over always go for runs, but then the next 3 overs always tidy. And he bowled best when he bowled his 4 overs consecutively on the trot. And so a lot of persons are saying, not only me alone on this one, that Chase should have bowled earlier. And that position at backward square leg. And the next thing too, he was on the field as the captain. He was not responsible for sending out Joel Andrew. But as the captain, unless as persons are saying is really Darren Sammy captain in the team, he as the captain should say, no man, you can't send out the youngster in front of this crowd in such a pressurized situation. What you doing? And so he should have found a nice way to ask Shepherd or another player to come on the field, you know. Maybe someone like Alan Barder would have done it a different way. So I really can't give him more than 3.5, 4 for the captaincy. No, I'll give him a 5 because I think in the batting innings he did well in how he was rotating the strike and lead guiding Chase. So I'll give him a 5. I'll give him a 5. Coach Darren Sammy, you lose the match, and your responsibility is to win cricket game. That's why you're appointed. You need to get the team to win cricket game. The Joel Andrew thing. The Joel Andrew. You know, you just can't send out the youngster that time. Can't send out the youngster. Whether or not that catch was taken, whether or not would have won the match, I don't know. But the decision again to send out the youngster in such a pressurized situation, you know, the team, what was the instruction given to the team why we only made 30 runs after the last 5 overs? What was the instruction? Why? Why did the batting fell away so badly? Why? You know, what was the instruction that you issued? So all of those things are considered. I really can't give him more than a 3. So that's my player rating, and I'm going to submit the form. So there you go. I submit the form. That was my player rating. I hope you would have done your player rating. I want to come back to some of your comments, but let me check if the likes is above 50. If not, I'll just go straight now to reflect what the player ratings from everyone. So I'm getting that form up to put it on the live screen to show what the player rating was from everyone. What was the combined player rating, and see how it differs from mine. So let me just give me a minute. There it is. So there is the player rating for everyone on the screen. This is the combined player rating. And once again, we don't take the average. We take the score that most persons go with. And I would have explained that. And thanks to Athena was instrumental in us deciding not to take the average. And I want to thank you. So for Brandon King, Majority of persons think that he got a 1. I don't understand how he would get 6, but everyone rate the players differently, and they're entitled to rate their players. So majority of persons think that it was a 1 for Brandon King. Shea Hope, majority of you think that he got a 7. So yes, 7 for his batting. I think I gave him 6, but that's okay. Or was it 7? I think it was 6 that I gave him. That's all right. That's all right. So 7 for Shea Hope. Raston Chase, 8. Majority of you gave him a 8. One ahead of me again. I think I gave him a 7. Was it a 7 that I gave him or 8? Don't remember, but you would have seen what I gave him. Rutherford Powell, 1. So Rutherford Powell, majority of you think that his rating was 1. He got a 3. 2 persons gave him a 3, and 4 persons gave him. So there's a big jump in the player rating. So let me refresh. I'm going to refresh the player rating here because there's a big jump in the number of respondents. So let's go again and see if that changed. Well, for Brandon King, it remains 1. For Shea Hope, it remains 7. For Raston Chase, it remains 8. For Rutherford Powell, it remains 1. I saw 4 persons gave him a 2 and 2 persons gave him a 3, but majority of you gave him a 1, which I gave him. For Ed Meyer, 6. Majority of you gave him a 6. Persons gave him 9, 10. But majority of you gave him a 6, so we stick with the 6. For Andre Russell, yes, they gave him a 1. 3 persons gave him a 2. I gave him a 1. Most of you agree with me. For Shafane Rutherford, again, most of you agree with me. 2 persons gave him a 5 persons gave him a 2 for a 1-ball ducks. That's okay. It's your opinion, but as again, we go with the majority, and the majority said that it is 1. So it's a democracy. So I hope you appreciate that you were outvoted. For Jason Older got a 4. Majority of you gave Jason Older 4. Very, very interesting. Majority of you gave him a 4. I think I gave Jason Older 6. Because I think that he's more in the team for his bowling rather than his batting. But I see most of you are judging him as an all-rounder. Somebody gave him a 1. The chap bowled 4 overs, 2 for 32, and we gave him a 1. I can't understand. No, honestly, I can't understand why his 4 overs went for 8 runs and over. And we were defending 9.5 runs per over. He got 2 wickets, 4 overs for 32. Honestly, I can't see how you give that performance. I am not in agreement with the 4, you know. I am not in agreement with the 4 because honestly, 2 for 32 from 4 overs, what more can you ask? So I personally is not in agreement with the 4, but it's a democracy, and majority of you think that he's a 4. So let's go with the 4. But the gentleman deserves more than 4. In all honesty, look at it. The gentleman deserves more than the 4, man. As I said, democracy, have to go with it, but I think that's we are harsh. We are harsh on Jason Older. We are harsh. Majority of you think that Budakesh Moti got a 6. So why would you give Jason Older a 4? He got 2 for 32 from his 4 overs. Budakesh Moti got 2 for 29 from his 4 overs. So one bowler go at 7.25 runs per over. The other one went at 8. Both of them get 2 wickets. And you give Moti a 6, but you give Older a 4. I don't think that the gap is that wide between those 2 performances. So really and truly, let us try and do the player rating more accurately. I'll go with your opinion because it's your opinion, but what do you use to differentiate between Jason Older 2 for 32 and Gudakesh Moti 2 for 39 that you gave Older 4 and you gave Moti a 6? A 3 runs gap can't be that wide. It can't be that wide. If I know we don't have 5.5, and that is the reason why we don't have from 1 to 5 in the player rating. That's why we have it up to 10. And that is why 6 is average, because if it was 1 to 5, 3 would have been the average. So 3 times 2 is 6. So when you give a person like 5, if the scale was on 1 to 5, you are really giving them 2.5. So we expanded out to 10. It really cannot go higher than 10. So we can't really give a 5.5 or so on. But I go with you, but I'm disappointed. Older deserve more than 4, especially if you are giving Gudakesh Moti 6 for a similar performance. Alzari Joseph 6. So you give Alzari Joseph 6, who went for this is, come on, man. We have to do better than this with the player rating, man. Alzari Joseph went for 39 runs, and Jason Older went for 32 runs. Both got 2 wickets. Older ball 1 delivery more than Joseph. But you give, come on, man. Come on, man. Let us not do this, please. We can't do this, man. Let us not do this. Let us, the majority of you giving Alzari Joseph 6. Older ball better than Alzari Joseph last night, Better than Alzari Joseph, Akil Hussain, 1 for 35 from his 4 overs and you gave him 7. And a man got 2 for 32 and you gave him 4. You have to do better than that, man. Why? I'm beginning to think that we are doing the player ratings and who we like. We have to do better than that, man. We have to do better than that, gentlemen and ladies. Let us be more accurate, man. A man went for 35 runs from his 4 overs, you gave him 7. A man went for 32 runs from his 4 overs and got 2 wickets, and you gave him 4. I don't think that we are doing this thing in an objective way. So Sheho got 4.5 because 8 persons gave him between 4 and 5. Some persons gave the captain. It's not Sheho, the captain. I know Sheho is the captain, but it's the captain's we are rating here now. Interesting that 4.5 for captaincy, which is maybe about right for me. Darren Sammy, 1. Ooh. Isn't we made 189, and we took the game to the 19th over. I know the Joel Andrew thing to send him out wasn't right. I know we fell away in those last 5 overs. But again, I think 1 is too harsh for the coach. But again, the majority speak. I am just one single person. So let me just run through this now quickly for everybody. Just quickly going through it. So Brandon King is 1. Shea Hope is 7. Rastan Chase 8. Ravman Powell 1. And Shimran Etmaya 6. 1 for Rutherford. 1 for Rutherford. 1 for Russell. 4 for Jason Older. Can't agree with that. 4 for Jason Older. 6 for Gudakesh Moti. Fine with me. 6 for Alzari Joseph. Fine with me. Akil Hussain 7. I don't have a problem with Akil Hussain 7, but I just think that if you are going to that both older bowl better than him. So if you are going to give Akil Hussain 7, you needed was to step up and older. 4.5 for Sheo, fine. I don't have a problem with that. And 5 for the coach. I think that was harsh. I think he gets somewhere between 3 and 4. Don't think he get a 5, but somewhere between 3 and 4. So that's the player rating and review show. I really thank you for being here. I thank you for participating in the player rating. I'm just gonna check on the thumbs up to see if we pass 50, so I can read a few more of your comments. Well, we have not yet passed 50. We are still at 43. I would have read a number of your comments earlier, so thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. Just looking at the live poll, 35% of you believe that there should be no change in the match. That means 65% of you believe that there should be at least one change. So that's 2-1 in favor of at least one change in the match. So I thank you for being here. I really appreciate your company. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. Whether or not I'm going to the match, I'm going to do a preview show tomorrow morning. Thank you all for being here. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. Bye for now.